click record to this computer right now just to be triple safe. So that is the question we get the most. And then just a friendly reminder that today is an advanced training. So if you are new to the platform, if you have not done your onboarding call yet with Natalie or Nick, if you haven't set up your profile yet, if you haven't integrated yet, set up your colors or done any generations, if you're brand new to the platform, this might feel like a lot, especially this training today, because this one is quite possibly probably one of the most advanced trainings we've done. So it might feel like a lot. That's okay. You're still going to get a lot out of this training. You might just want to re-look at the recording after the fact and kind of take it in at your own speed. And also just know that we are going to be repeating this training for the next couple of weeks just to get everybody kind of up to speed with the new magic templates and the new editor. So if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, what is going on? You probably just need a little bit more generations under your belt, a little bit more playing around on the editor, and then you'll kind of get to speed with what we're chatting about today, okay? So if you have not signed up for your onboarding yet, just make sure that when you log into your account, there's a red button on the bottom left-hand corner that says join training. Click into that, sign up for your onboarding with Natalie and Nick. They'll get you all set up, and then you will be all set to go for advanced trainings and just diving a little bit deeper into the editor, which is what we are doing today. So the editor 3.0, we are going to go over just the befores and the afters. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go back and forth between a little slide presentation I have for you guys and then also jumping into the editor. So I'll show you kind of all the changes that we've made based off of your guys' feedback. I think that is it and we're good to go. I'm just letting a couple more people in here. Perfect. Okay. I'll just open up my editor here. Fantastic. And we are going to go share screen. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Can everybody see my screen? Okay. Yep. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So today we are chatting about the editor 3.0. So for you guys who have been around for I think we've been around now for about 1.5 years. For you guys who have been around since the very beginning, you know that we have gone through a bunch of different iterations of RealEstateContent.ai. So this is actually the third editor. So the third version of it. Every single time we've launched an update, we've really tried to do our best to take in all of your guys' suggestions and feedback to really kind of improve the platform. So with this one, this is our third version of it. We're really, really excited. You guys wanted more customizability. You guys wanted more professional templates. We basically, as you guys know, we keep track of every single piece of feedback and every single suggestion you guys send us, and then we launch what you're asking for. So this is all based off of what you guys have been asking for. So we're going to be chatting about the editor. Now upgrading to the editor 3.0. So when you log in, the next time you log in, you're going to see the brand new editor. Okay. So the first big change that you are going to see are our new magic templates. Okay. So we have completely upgraded the templates. As you guys know, before our templates looked a little bit something like this. So they were a little more colorful. They had the big overlays and the big font, kind of a little bit more a bubbly font, bubbly colors. What we heard from you guys was that you guys wanted more professional, kind of more minimalistic, just really, really crisp templates, and you wanted more variety. So these were great in that, yes, they were colorful, they're bubbly, but there wasn't a ton of variety. And the biggest piece of feedback we were getting was you guys were like, those overlays, it's just taking up too much of the design. It's hard to see the photos in the back because the overlay is taking up so much of it. So that shape in the back, it was just really kind of front and center. You guys wanted just a little bit more clean and you wanted more customizability. We had a lot of questions about shapes, about adding contact info, about really kind of moving things around and rotating things and really kind of creating templates that look different and have a ton of variety. So for that reason, we have launched brand new magic templates. And I'm going to go over every single update now that kind of makes these magic templates possible. So what I did quickly right before this call was I just went ahead and I generated a week's worth of content just to give you a little bit of an idea of what these new templates look like. So you're going to see something a little bit more like this. So much cleaner, very crisp, different. Every single one of them is different. They have different elements. We've kind of taken your colors and we've put them into different accents across the templates that are generated. So it's no longer, just one big overlay in the back that takes up the majority of the design. Now we've sprinkled in your colors in a very, very tasteful way. You're also going to see that your contact info has been updated, which we're going to go through together. You're going to see that you now are able to add headshots and logos. So it's no longer just a little circle of your headshot or your logo. You can now add both of them. And you're going to see them placed kind of on different parts of each different template. So things are really going to look customizable. It's not like it's going to look, you're really within one given generation, you're going to see a ton of variety. So this is kind of what these magic templates are going to look like when you generate. Now, in order to make these magic templates work, the first big update we made was we turned those overlays into shapes. So shapes are probably one of the biggest suggestions that we had from you guys. You were like, we want shapes. We want to be able to customize our templates further. The two most requested shapes were actually stars and lines. And with the previous templates, they were really great, but you were kind of stuck with just these overlays. And the overlays always landed behind the text. So you weren't able to just use a shape the way that you wanted to. So let's say if you wanted to put a little triangle in the corner, or you wanted to add some stars to create a testimonial post, or even a line, something as simple as adding a line underneath the title or on the right side or making a little box. Stuff like that you couldn't do with the overlays. So they were very limited when it came to really designing. Now what we've done is we've introduced shapes. So when you log into your account and you go to edit one of your generated posts, you're going to go ahead. I'm just going to click into one of these posts to play around with. You're going to go ahead and you're going to see that on the left side, your overlays have now been replaced with shapes. So when you click into shapes, I'm just letting a couple people in here. Perfect. When you click into shapes, you're going to see everything from your square, your rectangle, your triangle. You're going to see circles, ellipses, arrows, lines, arcs, stars, gradients. We have keys, homes, beds, baths coming soon. So as you kind of go through, you're going to be able to add any sort of shape that you would like to your post. Similar to if you're designing on Canva, for an example, you can go ahead, you can add a shape, you can manipulate that shape. So let's say for this design, I wanted to add a star. I can click into the stars, click into the star, or click into the shape that I want to, click into the star and move it where I want it. I can set the color of that stars. Let's say I want it to be white like this. I can even rotate it, change the transparency. So you can really, really get creative with this. You have a ton of different options. And with these shapes, we are now able to create these really nice templates where as you kind of click through them, you're going to see a bunch of variety. And all of this was made possible with the different shape elements. Okay. So tons and tons and tons of variety. These shapes, you can stretch, you can manipulate them, you can move them around, you can really, really get creative. If there is something that you have created elsewhere on another design platform, you can very easily now go ahead and recreate it within the editor yourself and have that template saved to use for the future. So this was one of the biggest pieces of feedback we got, was that you guys were done with the overlays, you wanted more shapes, and now when you log in, you're going to have a ton of different options to choose from to really customize your posts. The next big update we did was simplifying colors. So as you guys know, before you could set your color palette, which is really great. But as you can see, even just at a glance, you have the choice to set 7 different color options. So we had text colors, subtext colors, contact text color, background color, overlay color, accent color, contact overlay color. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. And what we found was that Sometimes the combinations just weren't great. We were having a lot of people adding white text on top of white or lighter overlays. We were having people add dark text on top of darker overlays. And then when you hit your generation, it just doesn't always fall and look nice. So what we've done is we've updated it and simplified it so that the AI is actually choosing a text color for you based off of the template that it chooses, okay? So now when you log in, you guys are only going to have to set 2 colors. You don't have to worry about the text color and the background color and this color and then that color. You are giving us your 2 main brand colors. So when you log in and you're playing around with your posts, you're going to have your colors. And what we've done is we've taken your colors and we've condensed them to use your 2 of your main colors in your palette. Give them a once over and you'll check and see. And if you want to change them, you can totally change them. But now it's going to make it a lot easier for you when you're editing your posts. AI is going to plug in all the text colors for you, all the background colors for you, and then it's going to take your 2 main colors and it's going to plug them within different elements of the magic templates. So that way, when you're looking at them, we'll go back to templates. They're going to look a little bit something like this. So they're using your colors. Mine are this green and orange color, but in a very tasteful way. It's not overwhelming. AI is kind of choosing where it's going to plug that little accent color into, and it makes it look really, really nice and clean and professional. But again, you can always change every aspect of your post. So you can click into the different shapes. You can change the color. Let's say you want to change it to something else or move things around. Everything is completely editable. Everything, you still have all of the amazing editing features that you loved before. You still have access to all of them. This is just going to make it easier so that upon generation, your generations are going to look like this. You're going to have to do very, very minimal editing after they've been generated. With the colors as well, what we've introduced is a color wheel. So when you are editing your post, let's say you click into this shape right here and you want to, or maybe this shape right here, and you want to change the color. Now you no longer have to type in the exact hex code if you don't want to. We actually have this nice color wheel here, which we didn't have before. So you can actually kind of place your mouse wherever you would like and pick the exact color that you're looking for that kind of matches your brand or matches the template. We did not get rid of quick colors. So quick colors are still right up here at the top. This is going to generate based off of your 2 brand colors. So as you can see, mine is the orange and the green, and then it's gone ahead and given me a variation of my color palette so that I can just very, very quickly at a glance click into the different variations and see how they will look on those magic templates. The next update we did was small, but a very impactful update. So what we've done is we've updated the fonts to show you the font previews. So as you guys know, before when you were choosing your fonts, either upon generation or within the editor, the fonts would show up like this. So you'd have a nice list of them, which is great if you know the name of your font or if you're familiar with the platform or font names in general. That was fine. But the biggest piece of feedback we got from you guys was that it was just you're clicking into each individual font. You're trying to figure out what does this one mean? What is poster? What's signature? What's classic? So what we've done is very small but very impactful update is that now when you are editing your fonts, you can simply double click them, go to that drop down, and it's going to give you a little preview of exactly what your fonts are going to look like. So let's say you want it to be a little bit more bubbly, you can go ahead, select that, click into it, and you know right away without having to click into multiple fonts exactly what your font is going to look like. One of the things to note here is that we do have new fonts coming as well. We have a long list of fonts that you guys have reached out to us about. We definitely, within the next couple of weeks, just as we're kind of tweaking the new editor, we'll add those additional fonts in there. So you are going to see more fonts within the next couple of weeks. We haven't forgotten about that. We just wanted to start with really optimizing the fonts the font view that's in here already. So now it'll make it a lot easier for you. When you're editing in a pinch, you know exactly what you are setting your font to.
Hey, Irma, what I'll do here, just in between these 2 steps, I'll get a couple really just quick questions that I know people are asking right now in the chat. So number one, stickers. Can we just show people very quickly where the stickers are and how they work now?
Yeah.
So very quickly, we have not gotten rid of the ability to add stickers. You can still absolutely add stickers. And I think some of you are asking that because that's what allows you to add multiple headshots. If you have your own headshot but want to bring in another one, you can still absolutely do that. All you're going to do is navigate to like what Irma did to the images tab, and then you'll click on the three dots. So Irma, I'll let you kind of take it from there on that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So we'll get to the headshots and the logos in two sections from now, but you guys can still add stickers. So in images, you still have all of those amazing images. I think the image library is up to like 12 or 13,000 now. We've still got all those awesome images here. We've still got the search feature, so you can go ahead and search your images. You've still got your folders. So if you've created any folders in the past, your favorites folder, everybody has that favorites folder. We've gone through that in previous advanced trainings. But as you click into your images, what we've done now is we've just made it a little bit more intuitive. So it's a little bit similar to other editing platforms like Canva. If you click into an image like this, it's going to add it as a sticker, makes it super, super easy. Then from there, you can click into it and you can choose to set it as your background. And that'll go ahead and set it as your background. Or you can also set it as your background from these three dots right here. You just click the three dots, scroll down to set as your background. But any image in here can be added to your design just by simply clicking into it. And then you can kind of drag it around. You can move it exactly where you want it. You can create collages with it. You can now rotate it, set the transparency, set the corner rounding, all that good stuff. So we've got that.
Awesome.
Sorry, Mark, were you going to say something?
Just a couple, there's a couple like really persistent questions. It's super quick. So another one really quickly. I know you'll be getting into branding and all that. So everyone sit tight on the branding and the logos. That one's like a whole new overhaul. Just super quick things. A quick question on the color variations and the quick colors.
Yeah.
The variations are set automatically to save you time. So if you have your brand colors, just choose your brand colors once. And when you go see the color variation, it has automatically given you different versions and variations of your color palette, just so you can just quickly click through them to figure out which ones you would actually really like. So there's that. And then the final thing, I think it was for Jennifer, I believe her name was just really asking about the ability to generate using the save templates versus suggested. So Irma will get into that when we talk about the advanced settings.
Yep.
But you absolutely can choose whether the stuff is generating from your suggested templates or if you only want to use your save template. So no worries about that, and that'll be covered as well.
Yeah, yeah, we're going to go over that at the end, the advanced settings. Perfect. Okay, so the next is just the customized contact info. So you guys are going to see when you generate, your contact info is going to look a little bit different, okay? So depending on what template is generated, your contact info is going to land differently and uniquely on each different template. So for an example here, I've got my name over here on the right. Down here, we've got it in the corner. We've got the headshot over here, the logo. So what we did was before we kind of had these little contact cards, these little contained pills. So you guys remember them? They looked like this. They had a little circle around them. Everything was kind of together. And then you had the ability to add either a headshot or a logo. You couldn't do both. The biggest piece of feedback we had for that was that you guys just wanted more customizability. You were like, we want the ability to add our headshot and our logo larger than just a little circle. And you guys wanted the ability to really move around your contact info and to get creative. So, you know, I want my phone number here on the top right-hand corner, or I want to be able to manipulate the font of my name or of my email. I want to make it a little bit larger or a different font. And you weren't able to do that with the little contained contact cards. So what we've done now is we've created a new contact kind of portion where what it does is you actually are going to be able to add each individual piece of contact information as its own individual variable. And you can choose whether or not you want that to end up on your templates or not by toggling it on or off like this, okay? You are also able to add your headshot and your logo. Now, I'm going to get deeper into this at the end. I'm going to have a couple action items for you guys to update on your account just to make sure that your account is ready for these magic templates. So basically now you are going to be able to store your headshots all in one place and store your logos. Maybe you have a couple different variations of your logo or a couple different logos all in one place. So when you're editing, you can very easily toggle your headshots on or off. It's going to blow up your headshot nice and large, same as your logo. You're not only going to be, limited to just choosing one and only having that contact card. You're really going to be able to get creative with it. I mean, if you want to get creative with it, you can totally, or you can just generate with the magic templates. And as you guys see, every magic template kind of does something different with your contact. So there's always a ton of variety. It always looks a little different. It's not like you're seeing the same thing over and over and over again. And then when you generate, let's say if there is something you want to change about it, you can very easily click into each individual variable just like this, change the font, or even toggle it on or off if you end up not wanting it on a specific template. You guys, with this update, now you can change the font, which you couldn't do before. You can change the color of each variable. So let's say you want to change the color of your name. You just very easily go into here, choose a font color. Now you can have that really stand out with a different color, for an example. So you can really, really get creative. Placement too. So here I have the logo up in the right-hand corner. Let's say I want to move it down here, maybe on top of my name for whatever reason. You can really, really get creative with it. Again, there is a little bit of a to-do, some action items for this to work like this. So in order for us to implement this new contact information, what we did was we actually had to wipe your headshot or your logo, whatever you had in that little image. We had to wipe that out because they were compressed to fit that small size. And when we blow them up, they just look blurry. They don't look great. So what you're going to do is you're going to re-upload your headshot on a transparent background. We're going to go over all that together at the very end. But contact cards have been updated so that now you're going to get these really, really nice kind of customized, tons of variety. It's not always going to look like this little pill here in the corner. The next thing we updated was our settings. So in the advanced settings, so you guys know when you are generating your posts, so this is something that Marc just touched on a second ago, but you guys know when you're generating your posts and you scroll down to advanced settings, you have a bunch of different settings that you can choose from to set up before you click generate, okay? So before this update, we had a ton in here. I think it was like 17. I had the number here somewhere. We had 16 different advanced settings that you could set up, and it was a lot. So what we've done is we've really tried to simplify that. Now, when you go into your advanced settings before generation, you guys are still going to have all of the same advanced settings that you know and love and are used to. So very straightforward. You can still toggle your colors on, your contact information. Now your contact information has just been split into the individual contact information, as well as your headshot is separate than your logo. So that makes it super easy. And you still have all the same things you love. So your footer, your hashtag, your emojis, if you want to use emojis, your font selections, if you want to select your font before clicking generate, your times, all that good stuff is still here. But what we've done is instead of having all of those different options to choose from when it comes to templates and backgrounds and this and that, we have simplified it to only 2 settings, okay? So this is the only thing you have to choose is, are you using the magic templates? Or are you allowing AI to just choose from one of the suggested magic templates? Or are you specifically telling the AI, no, use the templates that I've created specifically? So if your toggle is turned off for saved templates, you are telling AI, yup, I'm cool. Go ahead and use magic templates. I like them. Use them with my colors. We're good to go. I don't have any specific templates I want you to use. If you have specific templates you want it to use, if you have gone ahead and you've created your own templates in there and you have a variety of them, remember, you don't want to toggle this on unless you have a variety, because let's say you have 2 saved templates, it's only going to choose from those 2. So make sure if you want variety that you toggle this off, or if you want variety and you want it to be your own saved templates, that you've created a bunch of them before you toggle it on. Most people are going to have this toggled off, and I suggest that you have it toggled off unless you have specific saved templates that you have created, okay? So toggling it off is going to tell it magic templates, suggested templates. Toggling it on is going to tell it my templates that I've saved. Then the only other thing you have to choose is where are the backgrounds coming from. So those images in the back, these guys right here, where do we want these images to come from? Okay, so here, your only choice is going to be, do you want it to choose from all? So from the library of 12,000 images, do you want the AI to just choose what it feels is best? Or do you have a specific folder you want it to choose from? So do you want it to choose from your favorites folder? Maybe you've created your own folder with just kitchens or just local locations. You can tell it exactly where you want the images to come from, and it's going to plug that into the back. So that's the only two things you have to set up for generations is, do you want it to choose the magic templates? Do you want it to choose your save templates? And then which background folder do you want it to choose from? Super, super easy. Now, I recommend if you haven't set up your favorites images yet, that you go ahead and toggle it to just all, because that's going to go through, it's going to have 12,000 different images that it's going through, and you're going to see a ton of variety upon generation with those advanced settings.
I think real quick, maybe just a quick question. So Jen's saying that she's struggling every time she is trying to generate with magic templates, it's using the same image. So I think maybe just kind of highlighting the choosing of the folder to make sure that the image search is on. But yeah, so I'll let you handle it.
Yeah, for sure. If you're finding it's using the exact same image, I wonder if maybe you just have it set to one of your folders. Maybe you have it set to like your uploads or another folder where you don't have a lot of images in it. And then it's only choosing from the folder that you've selected. So I would definitely recommend choosing from all. Or one of the things that we've gone through in previous advanced trainings is just setting up your favorites. So for those of you who have been on an advanced training before, you know how heavy we are into setting up your favorites. When you go into images, you guys are going to see this little heart on the top left-hand corner of every image, okay? So see that little heart right there? Every single image has the ability to be favorited. And if you love an image, if you're going through this and you say, okay, this looks like my brand, or this looks like the location that I live in, or, you know, this kind of fits the vibe of my profile, you just go ahead, you click that little heart right there. And what that does is that immediately adds your image to your favorited folder. So as you can see here, these are all of my favorites right here. And as you're kind of playing around with editing your posts, you can go into your favorites. You know, these are all the images you've already pre-approved. You know, you love these. You don't even have to go through the rest of the image library if you don't want to. You have them all very neatly organized in one place. So this is also perfect. If you've done that, you've gone through, you've selected your favorites, you can go ahead and click into your advanced settings before you generate. And you can specifically tell the AI, I want you to only choose from my favorites folder. And then what that's going to do is that's going to take everything that you've put into your favorites folder, all the images that you've liked, and it's only going to choose from them. So you never have to worry about it choosing an image that maybe doesn't fit your brand or doesn't fit your location the way that you were hoping for. You only have all of your pre-approved ones just right in there. And then finally, we've got a ton of additional little added goodies in the editor. So I'm just going to open up a post here so we can play around with it. We'll go click into edit design. Perfect. Okay, so things we've got the color wheel selector. So we went through that together. When you click into any shape, you're going to see, or even your text too, you're going to see the nice color wheel selector. Makes it super, super easy to find a color that fits your brand or your post best. We've got the auto uppercase. So this is another thing that a lot of users were asking for, is just the ability to auto uppercase. So maybe you want your entire header to be uppercase like this. Now you can just simply click into it, click the auto uppercase. It's going to turn everything into capitals. We've also got some robust layers. So with the new magic templates, we've launched the ability to really control your layers. So the same way you can, if you're comfortable with Canva and you've already been designing elsewhere, you can very easily kind of play around and move your layers to different locations. So layers basically controls where each element on the template lands. So let's say if I make myself bigger here, I'm over top of this layer, but let's say I want this to actually be behind me. I can just very easily drag and drop just like that. Maybe I want it in front, or I don't know which text this is, but you can kind of move things around just by simply controlling the layers here. You can also delete full elements out of here as well, just by clicking into the three dots and then deleting them. We've got rotation, so everything can be rotated now. I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller here. Everything can be rotated now, so including your logos, including the text. You can really, really get creative with it, move things around, place them exactly where you want them on your design. We did not have the ability to do that before, so now this has made it so that you can really, really get creative with it. We've got corner rounding as well. So some of the new shapes, so particularly the square and the rectangle, you can corner round. So just really kind of round any sort of element that's a rectangle or a square. Same as your images. If you're creating a collage or adding additional elements, you can go ahead and you can corner round on those as well and kind of place them wherever you would like on your designs. We've also launched an uploads folder. So this is a huge, this was a huge piece of feedback from you guys that we didn't even think of. But when you were going ahead to upload your images to use as backgrounds, they were immediately filtering in with the remainder of the images in the image library, which, you know, it's great that there are so many images to choose from, but then you've got 12,000 images to choose from over here. And then in addition to that, all of your uploads are adding on top of those images. So biggest piece of feedback, you guys were like, hey, we just really need a folder where this is all nicely organized. So now within your folders, you're going to see an uploads folder. All of the uploads that you upload into the editor are immediately going to get filed here into your uploads folder. You're not going to have them mixed into the rest of the editor. It's going to be really, really easy if you are looking for a specific image. So like right here, you can just very easily click into the image that you're looking for, find it super, super easily. A couple other things. Okay. So the other thing is grouping. So we've also launched the ability to group and multi-select. So if you want to make changes to multiple line items, you can very easily click, click, click. So you're holding your shift and you're clicking the same way you would on any other editing platform. And then you can drag multiple variables at the same time. So you can multi-select and you can group. So it makes it a lot easier for you to move things around. Instead of having to one by one move things around, you can just very easily shift and click and move things to where you want them. Let's say you want your first name and your phone number up at the top left corner. You just click, click, and move them. The other thing, so this has always been here, you guys, but this is something that's going to come in really, really handy with this new editor. So this feature up here, this is our link feature, okay? So this, when you're editing your posts, if you want the changes that you are making to that first slide to apply to all of the remaining slides in your carousel, you are going to keep this link open like this. So think of this as kind of a paperclip. It's linking all of your slides together. You want it to look like this, okay? That makes it so that when you are making changes, see how my first name and my phone number is up here on the top left-hand corner. And let's say I want to move it. Now, because that paperclip is open, when I move that, it is now moving it on all of the remaining slides. So I don't have to do each individual slide one by one. It basically, this paperclip makes it so that your first slide is kind of like your master slide. It's the one that, hey, I'm going to be working on this slide and I want you to apply every change that I make to the remainder of my slides. Now, if you want to make changes to your first slide, but you don't want it to apply to the remainder of your slides, that's okay. Just make sure you turn that paperclip off, okay? Exit out. Nope, I don't want you linking anything. I want this first slide to be on its own. I just want to make changes to that first slide. You're just going to turn that paperclip off, and now you can go ahead and you can play around with this first slide, and it's not going to apply any of those changes to the remaining slides. So as you can see, you know, I'm moving my logo down here. It has not moved for the remaining slides. So that's going to make it so that if you just want to make changes just to one slide, you can turn that paperclip off. So that's a really, really helpful feature. That's been around since the previous editor, but it is just something worth noting just because it's so helpful for when you're editing. And then finally, you guys do have some action items, okay? So And of course, this slide is now gone. Oh my goodness. Okay. So you guys do have some action items. So in order to get these new magic templates to look as gorgeous as they do, we had to move away from those little contact pills. Okay. They were just repetitive. They always landed on the same place on every single template. We wanted a little bit more customizability. Okay. So now what you guys are going to do just to really fully take advantage of these new magic templates is you are going to go in when you log into your account, you're going to go into your persona and your brand. Okay. You guys would have set this up whenever you first set up your account, whether that was, a couple of weeks ago or a year ago, your persona and brand, you know that you have all of your brand settings down here. Okay. So there's just a couple things for you to do super, super quick and easy. First, you're going to click into your contact information. Okay. So these are all the individual lines that can show up when you generate your posts. Okay. Go through this and make sure that where your name is, you have your name, where your phone number is, you have your phone number, email address, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because these have been now created in a way that's very intentional. We'll put the email address up at the top, or we'll put your phone number larger at the bottom left-hand corner. So you don't want to have these kind of mixed around. Go ahead, just make sure you have all of this filled out properly and that you have these variables toggled on. So anything you want to show up on your template to autofill into those sections, you want to make sure this is toggled off. You want to make sure to toggle it on, okay? And to click save. That's going to ensure that each of those contact variables is going to land on your magic templates properly. A couple things to keep in mind here, you guys, is a lot of the times what I see are people directly copying, pasting their website into the website section. So you'll see an HTTPS / and then this is / You do not need that, okay? All you need is your website nice and clean like this. Things to remember is that this contact portion, so how it looks right here on your image itself, on social media is not clickable. That's not a platform thing. That is specific to social media platforms. So where you have your website or where you have your phone number or your email, those items are not clickable. They're simply part of the design. Okay, so the HTTPS / whatever, it just muddies up your design. It doesn't look good. This is something that every browser immediately adds on when people put www.facebook or .amazon. Immediately, it's going to add that HTTPS. You do not need to add that yourselves, okay? Keep it nice and clean. Make it look like this, www. It's not clickable. Remember that. So you don't need to have the additional elements that are just going to make your designs look messy. Toggle this stuff on, hit save, and now your variables are ready to go. The next thing you are going to do is you are going to add your headshot and your logo. So remember, in order for us to make these magic templates work, we had to wipe your previous, whatever you had in that little circle, we had to wipe it because it was blurry and it wasn't able to be blown up. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into your headshot and you're going to click into edit, okay? You're going to click upload new. So you're going to click upload new, and then you are going to upload your headshot. So bonus points here is if you have your headshot already on a transparent background, so maybe you're a part of a team or a brokerage that has already provided you with that, perfect. Bonus points, upload it on a transparent background. If you do not have it on a transparent background, that's okay. You're just going to go ahead, you're going to upload an image, and I'm going to find a headshot here to upload. You are going to upload an image like this. You are going to crop it to the size that you want, zoom in, zoom out. You're going to go ahead and click crop. And before you click upload, you are going to remove the background. So see this button right down here, bottom right-hand corner. Remove the background. What that's going to do is that is going to remove that background. So let's say your headshot is you in front of a tree or a beautiful brick background. You don't want that landing on your templates. So you're going to go ahead, you're going to remove the background. And when you do that, you're going to end up with your headshot like this on a transparent background. And that way it can generate on those magic templates with just standalone your head instead of a background in the back, okay? Once you've done that, make sure that you are toggled on. If you want your headshot showing up on the magic templates, make sure that it's toggled on. That way it's going to add to to your generated posts. Same thing as your logo. You're going to go into your logo. If you want your logo added to your posts, again, you don't have to. It's entirely up to you. You're going to follow the same process. You're going to click into upload new. You're going to upload your logo on a transparent background if you have it on a transparent background. If you don't, you're just going to simply click that remove background button. It's going to do everything for you. And then once you have it here and selected, you're going to go ahead and click save and just make sure to have it toggled on. That way, when you go into generate, you'll see down here in your advanced settings, you don't even have to touch this after it's been toggled on. You're going to see that all of that is toggled on. You're going to be able to know exactly which headshot it's going to choose when it generates your post. And then when your magic templates generate, they're going to look a little bit something like this, and everything is placed exactly perfectly on this template. So there's my headshot, there's my contact info, my name, my logo, all that good stuff. If I want to make any changes, I can make changes. If I don't, I'm good to go ahead and schedule and approve it. A couple other things are just that these templates specifically, we've launched brand new templates for the AI generated posts. So for the carousels and for the reels, you guys are going to see some nice new reel templates as well. We haven't launched them yet for market reports, listings, or trending news. That's going to come within the next couple of weeks with the next launch. So you're going to see a big upgrade for those ones as well. But until then, this is for the AI generated posts specifically. So the reels and the carousels. And then everything else is still the same, you guys. So everything we've gone over in the past, like converting to a slideshow video, generating an AI image in the back, even replacing this all together. Let's say you don't want to use the magic templates, you just want to upload your own photo. You can go ahead, click here, upload your own media. All of that is the same. We haven't changed anything else about the platform, minus really kind of upgrading the editor and the different settings that you have in here. So again, once now that you've set up your headshots and your logos, you're going to be able to go in here then. And let's say you actually want a different headshot. Let's say this is a different headshot. I know it's just facing an opposite way, but let's say you'd rather that, or let's say this is a completely different headshot of you. You can go ahead and click into it and just simply swap your headshot out. Super, super, super easy. Same as your logo. Let's say you'd rather this logo. You just go ahead, click into whichever logo you want. Makes it really, really easy. And then the final thing is just your colors. So when you are in your persona and your brand, you're going to find that your colors have been condensed to 2 colors. Okay. Go in here, pick your 2 main brand colors. I highly suggest that you avoid the colors white and black because the templates are already going to place white and black within your generated post. You want your 2 main brand colors to be in here. You just simply go ahead and hit save, and AI is going to pick and choose where it kind of places that accent color so that it's in a really, really nice and tasteful way. Okay, cool. I think that was it, what I had. I'm actually going to hop into the chat. I'll see what's going on in there. Yes. Okay. So for the DRE number, so for those of you who require a DRE number on your posts, you can still do that, of course. I recommend either putting it in your team or brokerage part of your contact info, or honestly, you guys, you don't even need to have your DRE number on the actual design itself. The only thing you need to do is have it somewhere on your post. So for that, what I would do is I actually would not put it on my designs at all. I think it actually will look a little redundant being like DRE number, DRE number, DRE. Most people don't know what a DRE number is. Most of your clients are going to be like, what the heck is that? What I would do is I would actually add that to my footer in the caption. Okay. I would actually add that to my footer in the caption. So as you guys know, your footer is a little piece of text that is added to the very end of any generated caption. And you can have that be whatever you want. So it can be a call to action. This is actually my entire footer right here, is this call to action and then my contact info. So what I would do is in your persona and brand, when you are setting up your footer, okay, this is just a piece of text that's going to be put at the bottom of every single generated post that you have, okay? I would just add my DRE number in here. DRE number, whatever it is, save. And now when you go to generate, that is going to be added to the bottom of every single generated caption. You are compliant. It's on your post, but it's not like you are like upfront and, you know, DRE number, DRE number, DRE number on every single post that's going out. You have it just very tastefully down here. So that's how I would do it. Again, it's entirely up to you. You can do it there, or you can add it to the team or brokerage. If you're going to put it in any of the contact variables, I highly recommend just putting it on the bottom one right here, just so it's not super, super in your face. The other thing about the templates, you guys, we had this question a couple of days ago was, you know, some of them have your contact info on the bottom of every slide. Some have it on the first and last. Every template is going to be a little different. We've intentionally made them so that they're a little different. We've tried to move away from the little pill that shows up on every single post. We want to create variety. So you're going to see some that have it on every single one. You're going to see some that have it on just the first and the last. So for an example here, we have it on every single one of them. But this one up here, we had it on the first and the last. So you're just going to see a ton of variety. And it's entirely up to you whether or not you even want your headshot and your logo to show up on things. If you guys have been on an advanced training with me before, you know that I'm a huge advocate for not going overkill with your headshots and your logos. You do not need your headshot on every single post that goes out up front and center. People who are, you know, 4 or 5 slides into your carousel, if they have gotten this far, they know whose Instagram they are on. They already passed this page. They are on your Instagram. They have your contact info in the caption. You don't need to have it necessarily on every single slide. It's nice to have a little bit of variety. Have some that have your headshots, have some that don't. Try to kind of toggle some stuff on, toggle some stuff off, so that you constantly have a variety. Think about the average client. When they click into your Instagram, do they want to see just a blown up headshot of you on every single post? Or do they want to see that sprinkled in, and then a testimonial here, and then a photo of you and your dog over here, and then a reel over here? That's the kind of stuff you want to do. So we've talked about that before in advanced trainings, and we'll do another one that's very tailored to that specifically. This one we're chatting specifically about the editor, but in case you are wondering as you're going through the magic templates why some have, you know, one contact info, others have it kind of throughout, it's very, very intentional. And then a recent question I saw was just, what if black is one of your colors? That's perfect. It's going to add black in just on its own. So I would not add that as one of your accent colors. I'd maybe try to do something a little bit lighter, maybe something more neutral that, you know, if it lands behind a black text, it's going to look really good. But if your colors are black and white, then you're already set to go. The templates are created in a way that they're very minimalistic. They're very professional. They're going to bring in that black and white anyway. Can we use the link to add or subtract our headshot on different? Yeah, totally. Well, as you're clicking into each individual slide, you can just toggle off and on different variables depending on what you want on that slide. What she is saying now, a toggle, so you could toggle on the first and last slide only. Would it be possible to make what she is saying now a toggle? Yeah, so the contact info is a toggle for each of the slides. So as you click into each individual slide, I'll open it here actually. As you click into each individual slide, let's say, I'm going to make sure my linking is off. And I go down here, let's say I'm on this slide right here, and I decide, okay, I want to add my headshot in here, or my name in here. It's now brought it in here. I'm just going to go ahead and change it so that you can obviously see it a little bit better. Let's go bold and white. Now I've got my name, and let's say I want my headshot in here. I just go ahead, toggle it, and move it to where I want it. So you can go ahead and add it to random slides if you want, like specific slides. It's entirely up to you. Show how and where we would use the duplicate. Need to share. I sign on playing. Yeah, no worries, Timothy. Everybody's going to get a recording at the very end of this, so you'll get one in your email within the next few hours. Okay, so your example talks about tacos in the headline. Will that be addressed? So, okay, I think there was a duplicate and then the backgrounds. Okay, so with the backgrounds, Liz, basically what it is the AI is looking through the image library and it's choosing what best suits your location and your topic. Mine was a very specific topic because I chose food. We don't have a ton of food in the image library. It's mostly like real estate, location, people kind of stuff. So in that case, if it can't find food, it's like, okay, what's the next closest thing to Austin, which is where my location is? So it's choosing Austin through there and then plugging it in. We actually have the AI right now where it's getting trained on a weekly basis. It's constantly learning to read those images and to choose the best image that it finds. But like if you choose something specific, like I did with food, and we just unfortunately don't have food in there, it's going to be like, okay, what's the next thing that I can see? Okay, this person lives in Austin. I'm going to find them some summery, sunny image that matches Austin, and it'll go to the next best thing. The best way to do that, Liz, if you have very specific images or a vibe that you like, do the favorites folder. That is my biggest piece of advice. I love this. This only takes a couple seconds. Is you actually go ahead through the images, find the stuff that fits your vibe the best. Let's say you're bright and airy like this. You just go ahead, click that heart, click a heart for everything that matches kind of your brand, your location. It immediately adds to the favorites folder. And then what you're going to do is within your favorites folder, that's immediately added to there. I have a bunch of random photos in here. But that way, when you go to generate, exit, when you go to generate, you actually can scroll down and you can always have this set to generate with your favorites folder. And then that way, you know, it's always going to choose something that is kind of fits where you live. But for those super unique ones, like let's say you do, I don't know, like why yellow bathrooms are the new trend for January 2026. If it doesn't have yellow bathrooms, it's going to look for the next best thing. It's going to look for the color yellow, and then it's going to look for, okay, where does this person live? Let's try to find them something similar. And then the duplicate, I just want to make sure that now I've lost it. Okay, I'll show you guys two duplicates just because I've lost the comment here about whether or not it was duplicating the actual post itself or duplicating something within the editor. Thank you, David. But I'll show you both of those. So when you are editing, I love this feature. So you guys can actually duplicate your post all together. So let's say you are editing, you've made a bunch of changes to this post specifically, and you're like, ooh, I love this. I actually want this to go out every other Friday for the rest of the year for whatever reason, or I want this to go out on multiple platforms. You've made all these nice changes to this, and now you want it to go out on more than just Instagram. Now you have a couple different options here. You can go ahead, you can duplicate the entire post. So what this is going to do is this is going to literally make an exact replica of that post. So all of your slides, your caption, absolutely everything, exact replica. And then from there, you can go ahead and you can drag and drop that post into another day, or you can choose what you want to do with that post. But let's say you want to add this to multiple platforms. So you've worked on this Instagram post, but you're like, oh, shoot, you know what? I actually want this to go out on LinkedIn as well. You can click into your platform on the top left-hand corner here, and then you can click which platform you want it to go to. So let's say you also want it to go to LinkedIn. Now you click out, and when you go ahead and schedule and approve, it's going to create two separate posts for you. Things to keep in mind are that with Twitter, for an example, they only allow 4 images. So if you are using the duplicate post feature, it's going to duplicate the entire thing. You're going to have to just cut down on your images in order to post to Twitter. That's something that's on our radar to update in the future. But if you are doing that, just keep that in mind. You also have to make sure you shorten your caption as well. Obviously, Twitter likes the shorter captions. And then with Facebook, it will allow you to post multiple images like this. It just doesn't look the greatest, which is why we always default the Facebook posts to single images with a hook like this. So let's talk real estate, first time home buyer in Austin. Read this. It's a single image. It's not a carousel style post, because the way that Facebook posts is instead of doing a swipe through carousel style informational post, it kind of photo dumps it so that it's just an album with a bunch of photos, and they're not, it just doesn't look the greatest. So we always default to the single image. That way it keeps your Facebook nice and clean. You're not doing a dump of a bunch of different photos. It's very intentional. It looks really nice. So that's another thing to keep in mind for Facebook. It'll still post it. It just looks a lot better when it's just one image with like a nice little hook on the front of it. Twitter is dead. Yeah. Paul, honestly, as someone who's been trying to grow a Twitter for the past 2 years and has 50 followers, I would have to agree. It's a tough time on Twitter. But I mean, it is good to post in as many different places as possible. And especially with this, I mean, all you have to do is generate and hit schedule. So makes it nice and easy. But if you're not already on Twitter and it's something that stresses you out, don't worry about it. I say that about TikTok too. When agents come to us, they're like, oh my God, I have to be on TikTok. I'm like, no, you don't. You really don't. If you're not on TikTok already, don't stress yourself out. Double down on the platforms that you are good at and where your clients are. More likely than not, your clients are not on TikTok. If you're not already viral on TikTok, don't stress yourself out. Honestly, Blue Sky and Threads, same thing. They're just not, we're keeping an eye on them to see. We thought Threads, when it first came out, was going to blow up like crazy. And it still has yet to do that. And we have quite literally next to no feedback asking for that platform. So we've just kind of held off. For platform, like new platforms we plan to include next year, 1000% Google My Business is high on our list. YouTube, we're also looking at YouTube Shorts. YouTube is a little bit similar to TikTok in that it really works best with like talking head videos. And we have a couple users who do those really well. Stuart does those really well. I'm not sure if he's on here right now. But we have a couple that are really comfortable with taking videos of themselves. Those perform the best. We're just trying to kind of weigh pros and cons. We are also going to beef up our video library. So you are going to see more reels and videos coming out within the next couple of weeks, which we're really excited about. But Google is definitely high on our list for next year. And then we're keeping an eye on Threads and Blue Sky and those other ones. Pinterest too, that's also on the list. Keep an eye on it, but Google is definitely the highest on our list. Holiday posts like Merry Christmas. Yes, Paul. So we actually just launched, I think it was over 500 holiday related images. So when you go and you edit your templates and you go into the images, click into holiday or click into winter, there's a ton of holiday backgrounds that you can use. We also did a dedicated training on how to create holiday posts a couple months ago in October. We did kind of like a Halloween, Thanksgiving themed one. So I'll make sure to include that in the email I send you guys with a link to the recording. That way you can rewatch it. It goes over all your different options that you have for creating holiday posts on the platform. Let's say if you want to create your own, just that says like Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or whatever. Super, super easy to do. I'll send you a link and then you'll be good to go. Yeah, and you can totally suggest Christmas for a topic too. If you want to do like a carousel style informational post, you can totally just type in any sort of Christmas topic that you want. Or if you want it just to have like text that says Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas, you can also do that. So I'll send you a link after this when I send the training. I'll also send a link to that training that we did in October. And then that way you can kind of see how to do it. It's a lot of fun, super easy. Lisa says, I love X, have met some very nice and interesting people there. Yeah, totally. What's your TikTok game then? And does it not favor your templates? Yeah, Philip. So TikTok, if you've scrolled through TikTok, TikTok does really well with talking head videos. The informational style, like here's what's happening in the Austin market posts. It's the algorithm just doesn't care about that kind of stuff. So for right now, if you want to post to TikTok, we do integrate with the TikTok platform. It's just not within the generation flow, but you can very easily, the same way I showed you guys how to duplicate a post and change the platform, you can duplicate any video post you want. Let's say you have a video post like this. I know I have one on my calendar here. Okay, so let's say this Facebook post right here. I want to duplicate this and add this to TikTok. I can very easily go ahead and go down here to TikTok. Just make sure, obviously, that you're integrated with TikTok, and then you can click into next to schedule it. To be completely honest, the reason why we haven't added this to the generation flow is that a post like this is just not going to pop off on TikTok. There's way too much interesting stuff going on TikTok, and you're competing with way too many interesting posts for this to go off. It's still good to show up there. However, it's going to do a lot better with you actually talking into it. The other thing is if you are comfortable with talking in video, which some of our users are, you can always create your own post. So you can go into more options and upload your own content. And then you can change this to TikTok and through here, upload your own media. So let's say you've already taken a video that you just want to simply schedule to TikTok. You can totally do that through here and just go ahead and schedule. There's a couple additional TikTok settings that it makes you choose. Just before you can post to TikTok, make sure you're integrated and you can schedule your own videos. So that's another option. You can repurpose our reels or schedule your own TikToks, but just keeping in mind that it does really well with talking face videos. The other thing about TikTok too is that even if you do go viral, which the ones that go viral are like the heavily entertaining videos, you are not guaranteed to go viral in your location. So if you go viral, you have some sort of crazy video, maybe you're like jumping into a pool at one of your listings, it's really, really good, and you go viral, you could go viral in like Australia with a bunch of 15-year-olds. And if you're, okay, that's great, your video's gone viral, but those people aren't likely to be your clients. So that's why I always tell people, TikTok does really well if you have the time and the expertise and you're comfortable on camera. You can double down and really try to get a video to go viral, really try to kind of like grow your following there. But if you are not, it is incredibly difficult to go viral, and it is a lot of effort to go viral on TikTok. So if it does not come naturally to you, do not stress yourself out being like, oh my God, I got to figure out a way to be on TikTok. I got to figure out a way to go viral on TikTok. No, I would just double down on the platforms that you are the most comfortable on, the platforms that you have most of your followers on, that you've built your followers, over the years on Facebook or Instagram, or whether it be X or LinkedIn. Double down on posts on there, because you are more likely to get business out of that than spending all day filming a TikTok video that may or may not do well. Some people are great at it, but the majority of people are not set up to be great on TikTok. And that is just honestly reality. Yes, Josh, don't worry. Well, everything is still being recorded, so you'll still get it. I know we're blabbing a lot. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. But it does not work to remove background. Sarah, shoot us off an email if you're having any issues at all with removing the background. I'm going to type the email just right in here in the comments, and then we can do it for you. So the remove background does take a little bit. So just give it a couple minutes, because it does take a little while to go through and just like really kind of clean up that background. So it's going to take a little bit longer, but just shoot us off an email if you're having any issues at all. Thanks, Josh. Really appreciate that. Yeah. So guys, I know this one was really long and we've been blabbing a lot. There's a lot of information going on with this one specifically. This is the biggest update we've ever done. So I know I've been like, it's a lot to take in. I completely understand. I promise that over the next few weeks, we're going to continue doing this same training. But then after things have kind of slowed down, we're going to go back to our advanced trainings the way that we typically do them, which is like this. It's a lot of a conversation. It's a lot of like talking about strategy and stuff like that. So the kinds of questions we're going through right now, you're going to see a lot more of those. That's typically how our advanced trainings go. It's just this one in particular, there's a lot of people. It's a huge update. So it's been very information heavy. But don't worry, you're free to ask us any questions that you have. And then you guys know, you can always send us an email too. If you've ever emailed us before, you know that Tara and Nick are just absolute rock stars. They are the best. They're so incredibly helpful. They're always happy to help if you have like a unique use case, or you're just asking, hey, what should I do about this? Or what do you think about that? Definitely bug them. They are absolutely amazing and so knowledgeable. So knowledgeable. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Yes, the chat will also be included, Anita. Nice to see you too. It's always nice to see Anita in the chat. She's here like every week, which is so awesome. And thank you, Debbie and Lisa and Chris. Super thankful. And Kai. Can my own custom font be uploaded to my profile? Josh, not right now. You can't upload your own, but if you do have a font suggestion, please email us. We actually have a list where we are keeping track of all the suggestions that we have. If we can't find your exact font, we're going to look for something very similar for you, okay? So if you know your font name, shoot us off an email. We're going to add it to the list. We're going to do our best to add it. Nice to see you too, Irma. Not every week, but I try. Oh, you've created your own font. Okay, that is super cool. Shoot it off to us. I don't know what the rules are around that. I know that fonts are a little funky because some of them are like commercial licenses. Some of them are, shoot it off to us. We'll see what we can do. Worst case scenario, we just find something that's similar. Looking forward to the recording. Thank you so much. Thank you, Deborah. Really appreciate it. And Cindy, but only uploaded to your profile. Oh, okay. I don't know about that, but shoot us off an email. We'll see what we can do. And Steve, so good seeing you, Steve, too. You're also an OG. I see Steve all the time. And Chris, thank you guys so much. We really, really appreciate you taking the time to hop on today. Again, I know this was a ton of information. It was a lot. I'm going to make sure I get that recording off to you guys. Feel free to reach out to us literally anytime. And I hope that you join us again on another Friday. We're here every Friday, 1:30 p.m. And yeah, if you ever have any questions, any suggestions, any feedback at all, literally this update would not have happened without your guys' suggestions and your feedback. So keep them coming. We promise we're going to keep improving this. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much, everyone. Really, really, really appreciate it. Bye, Michael. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.